But now I'm about to go at 7:01. We've got to go on.
Okay, so shall I admit all?
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Dave, you're gonna just encourage questions in the chat.
Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. I don't know how many people are on at the moment, but there seems to be a lot of you. You're all on mute, which is great. Welcome to the official digital hair experience online. For most of you that may or may not know me, my name is David Mannah, and I'm the founder and owner of the Digital Hair Awards. We're just waiting on some more people to come in. They're popping in consistently here. I've just got to keep admitting all the participants tonight, but I hope you're all well. Tonight is also being recorded, so we'll all have access to tonight's recording as well. So we're going to continue admitting people into the room. Now, guys, if you want to communicate to us, the chat box is open all night, and we've got incredible Christelle Manner and Tony from M Division who's going to be monitoring the chat. So if there's any questions or concerns or queries or anything technical that you guys aren't sure of, if somebody's accidentally on mute and you can't hear them for some reason or whatever it is that comes up on a video call like this, to make sure you guys just mention it in the chat and we will attend to it. Still got people coming through, guys. So we're going to wait till 7:05 before we officially kick off, which is another 2 minutes, and then we'll carry on with tonight's masterclass. How good is this though, right? It's 2026. We can do live masterclasses from the comfort of our own home through these incredible platforms. It never ceases to amaze me how far technology has come in relation to getting together, getting people together. And what better way to get together in relation to the Digital Hair Awards, right? It's where we live in a digital age, and let's take advantage of technology. So feel free, guys, to put your camera on if you like as well, so we can see you. We'd love to see your faces. I don't want to just see names and profile pictures because I think anyone who's, hi Mia, hey, I can see you. Um, anyone who's on camera, anyone who's presenting tonight, I'm sure they'd love to see reactions and just nodding heads and thumbs up and things like that because that always helps our speakers. We've still got more people coming in. There's another one. Vanessa Watt. Hey, welcome. Julie Rose. Hey, guys. Let's just keep admitting people, and we're going to officially kick off at 7:05. And Chris, if you don't mind, if I'm talking and because I'm a man, I can't do two things at once. If there's more people coming through, just admit them as well from my laptop.
I will.
Okay, counting down. I'm excited. So, for those of you who have just joined us, of course, and a part of this, there's going to be some incredible announcements tonight with relation to promotions and exclusive offers for those of you who've joined tonight as well, which is really cool. We've got some special guests joining us as well, which you'll have access to a little later on. But without further ado, we're going to kick off. Okay, so again, let me introduce myself. I'm David Mannah, owner and founder of the Digital Hair Awards. We've got three amazing and inspirational powerhouse social media warriors tonight joining us. Natalie Anne, of course, Caitlin Berry, and Ashley Bailey, which I'll do separate introductions for. I just wanted to also just connect with you guys just with a bit of background on the purpose behind the Digital Hair Awards. So I've been in the hairdressing industry for over 20 years, and I've had the honor and the privilege to be the custodian of the Australian Hair Fashion Awards. And I've seen what that event and that platform has done for hairdressers in a span of, like I said, 20 years. I've seen what it's doing for people that are very close to me from my own family. My brother Richard Mannah is a hairdresser as well, and winning awards on platforms like the Australian Hair Fashion Awards has catapulted his career. And of course, I've seen what these awards do for hairdressers all over the world. The doors it opens for brands, for education, for opportunities. It's endless. And of course, it is a great precursor to anything that you want to do proactively to say that I am the finalist for this or I am the winner of this award. And because of that, and I understand the challenge it is sometimes to invest in yourself commercially to enter awards like the Australian Hair Fashion Awards, and the way in which the world is moving into our craft being celebrated on social media. Hairdressing is in the top 10 industries that lends itself towards social media friendly content. You know, you've got food, fitness, you've got celebrity, you've got sports, you've got beauty, of course, you've got hairdressing. Hairdressing's in the top 10. There's three or four other categories that just escape me right now. And for us to be in the top 10, it's because our industry lends itself towards content creation. And we all know we love to watch a good transformation, no matter what the subject matter is. I've found myself stuck watching my phone, seeing somebody create something out of wood. I'll just keep watching it to the end because I want to see the end result. And we do transformations every day. And I'm not just honing in on the transformation, but our industry is transformative in its nature. So social media obviously lends itself towards the hairdressing industry. And of course, because we're all online, because we're growing our brands, we're connecting with our audiences, we're driving traffic to our salons, we're showing off our skills, and there's so many reasons why we do that. But I wanted to create another reason for that. And that's why we launched the Digital Hair Awards. We wanted the wider hairdressing community, not only in Australia, but globally, to truly embrace the power of content creation. And let's celebrate the best content creators. And not sure if many of you guys know, I'm also an award-winning photographer, and I shoot campaigns and collections for hairdressers all over the world. And I'm really good at what I do, and I can make hairdressers look great with the work that I produce because I understand lighting and I understand the power of the right models and the right angles and the right compositions and just the right styling and makeup and backdrops, all the things that make an image grab you, right? So with the Digital Hair Awards, we are empowering you, the stylist, with the number one tool that's in the hand of a hairdresser these days, which is your smartphone. So there's no hiding behind a David Mannah. It is your work. It is a true reflection of your ability as well. And I say this with all due respect to image creators, but mainly all the categories of the Digital Hair Awards are video. It's video content. I want to empower hairdressers to be able to capture video and edit video. I think that's what's going to help as a skill set really catapult your career. So I wanted you guys to understand that the heartbeat behind the Digital Hair Awards, it's a platform to recognize and really drive eyes on the work that you guys do and give you an opportunity to shine, to open doors for your career. So without any further ado, I want to move on tonight because we've got three very special guests. Number one, we've got Ashley Bailey, who's also known on social media as Social Coach Ash. Ash is the current Digital Influencer of the Year at the Australian Hair Fashion Awards, which is a massive accolade. Ash is also an incredible educator and coach to hairdressers all across Australia. She's also an official DHA judge and a DHA ambassador. And she has got a special session to share with us tonight with a special offer. So I can't wait to introduce Ash and get her to kick off. But before I do, let me quickly introduce our other incredible guests. Caitlin Berry, down the bottom. Hey, Caitlin, give us a big wave. Caitlin is the current Best Carousel winner for the Digital Hair Awards in 2025. She's also an incredible hairstylist and educator. And she's also a Natalie Anne hair care educator and ambassador. Also an ambassador for Lakme, Olaplex, and Foxy Blonde. And I mean, she's going to share on her journey in relating to how she's grown her brand and her profile, but also she'll be demonstrating an incredible look tonight as well. And of course, a woman that needs no introduction, Natalie Anne herself, the founder and CEO of Natalie Anne Hair Care, the very first ever digital influencer of the year at the Australian Hair Fashion Awards, the queen of content and social media, and the OG IG gangster. Natalie Anne is also joining us tonight, and she will also be sharing her amazing journey in this space, but also another incredible offer. All four of us are offering something special exclusively for everybody that's on tonight's live. The Digital Hair Awards have got an incredible offer, which we're going to share with you tonight. Ashley's got a great offer, Nat's got a great offer, and Caitlin's got a great offer. So let me throw to Ash Bailey, Salon Coach Ash, who's going to kick off tonight. And guys, remember the chat is open for any questions. And we're going to also have an open Q&A at the end of the session as well, okay? So Ash, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, David. So excited to be here. Honestly, these awards are literally what my job is about. It's about social media giving you visibility to your business, to your craft, and this is what these awards do. So I love being involved in it, and I'm really excited to be an ambassador and a judge and help you guys make sure your entries get noticed, because end of the day, whether it is through Instagram when someone's scrolling through their feed, or if it's entering the award, we need to stand out. You need to stand out on social media in that feed, and you need to stand out in these awards. So what I'm going to take you through is all about nailing that. So I'm going to bring up my presentation and we can kick it off. And yes, if there's any questions, I find it really hard to read and talk at the same time. So just yell out at me if there's any questions along the way, guys. So nice to see you there, Mia, with your little bugs.
Amazing.
All right. So
exciting.
I'm going to go across. Yeah, I'm just going to go grab my presentation now. There we go. Oh. Make sure it's at the top.
You've lost it, Ash.
No, it's there.
We tested it just 5 minutes ago. It was working.
All right. Can you guys see that? I'll just make it big screen now. Everyone can see that?
Yes.
Awesome. And yeah, if you haven't met me before, worked with me before, I'm a social media coach for hairdressers. So I specialize in educating hairdressers how to create engaging scroll stopping content. So I've been out on my own for 4 years, and previous to that, I worked at a hair care group. So I have 4 years of experience prior to that working on the brand side, so managing the social media for brands. So I've got a good kind of understanding of the hair ecosystem, from a consumer buying a brand product, and then also hairdressers in terms of how you guys come into that. So it's been 8 years specifically in the hair industry, and I think all up about 14 years in social media in general. So I've been doing social media, Instagram, when it first started. So it's evolved a lot, and end of the day, to keep up with what's working now, we need to keep educating ourselves, because back when it first launched, we would post just a static image. And like David said before, video is absolutely, predominantly where a lot of attention spans go now. So it's completely evolved, and hence why education is so important to keep up with that, so that you get discovered, so that you get that discoverability. So, and I guess the other thing I just wanted to flag, I guess there's a lot of social media gurus. There's plenty of tips you can get for free, but there's proof in the pudding when it comes to what my clients get, what the results my clients get. And there's a shout out to the ones who are on this call today. And also what I've been able to grow myself. So by, being able to become Digital Influencer of the Year this year, growing my account from 4,000 followers to 80,000, nearly 90,000 followers in less than 4 years while having 2 kids.
Wow.
Posting only 3 times per week. If I can do it, you guys can do it. And that's what I love about social media. The playing field is equal. It neutralizes any of those advantages. That's what this competition is so cool about, because it doesn't matter how big your salon is. It doesn't matter if you've got heaps and heaps of money to do a photo shoot. It is literally just this, your creativity and your skills on social media. So I love that this is so accessible to everyone, to anyone who has that talent, anyone who has that eye and is hungry. You can absolutely do it. So let's dive in. This stat, you've probably heard it before, but it is the biggest thing you need to think about. And this stat, so you have 3 seconds to grab attention. This is when it's in the feed, when someone is scrolling their feed. If they don't find your post interesting in the first 3 seconds, they will scroll past it. I would argue this is even getting lower. This is it's even 2 seconds now. And just think about how you use social media. We doom scroll. We sit there very numbingly, and it takes a lot to grab attention now. Just, sometimes we can get into a headspace where we think, oh, this sucks. It's so unfair. But really, if you think about yourself as a user, you're behaving like this too. This is just how we as humans behave now. on an online space because it's been around for a long time, because we consume so much content. We have to grab their attention. And we need to think about that from that feed placement too. I can't tell you how many clients I work with, so many hairdressers who hold back grabbing attention because they're so worried about what it will look like on their grid. Really good, important point. Any post you post, people view it and judge it those first 3 seconds in feed, not on your grid. And secondly, if you're entering this in the wards, we're not seeing it in that grid at all, are we? As a judge, we're reviewing it in a portal. So it doesn't matter whether it's in that portal or if it's on the feed, those 3 seconds matter. Obviously, as a judge and in that portal, we're not going to skip past your entry, but the impression you can make in those first 3 seconds matter, just like they do in the feed. So how do we grab that attention? This is the framework or the strategy that I want you guys to approach when you're creating your content or editing your content. There's 3 main ways that you can hook them in that 3 seconds. And that is what you film, how you edit it, and adding text to the post. So they're the 3 buckets of things you need to focus on to grab that attention. So I'm going to dive into a little bit more detail about each of these. I'm going to focus more predominantly on the editing side, but we'll touch on each 3 of these so that you guys feel like you've got a good sense of resources and ideas to go with for your entries. All right, is everyone following along? How are we going? No big questions I need to answer, anything yet?
We're on the chat. We're just watching chats come through, but there was just a couple of technical questions. However, everyone's loving your session so far, Ash.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. All right. So let's go into number 1, your first hook, what you film. Biggest thing I see when I review all my clients' content, when they're asking me why am I getting higher views? Why is anyone watching this? The start of their video or the start of their carousel is boring. We need to go to the good bit straight away. We need to do a teaser. If it is a step-by-step, show the after right at the start, then go back to the start. We need to be strategic about making sure that the best part of the video or the best part of the post is at the very start. Because nothing breaks my heart more when a client has done an incredible step-by-step, but the best bit was buried in at 40 seconds. And the problem was no one stuck around to watch that section. So it's about identifying what is the best bit, breaking up with this feeling of it has to be chronological. And this comes from, I think, the perfectionism. You know, you do beautiful hair, you do a beautiful process, and you're probably thinking about impressing other hairdressers, and you think you have to show it chronologically. You absolutely don't. You do not have to go, I started at the before, then I washed the hair, then I did this. No. Literally go straight to the best bit, which might be the toner, might be doing the foil. You don't need to do every single step, and you definitely don't have to start on the before hair if it isn't a super interesting before. So just in a summary on this page, things not to do, visual things you shouldn't start your video on, filming the back of head. Absolutely. Any, slow pans of the back of head, or even a slow pan of the salon or something like that. If it's a talking video, not starting your talking video with, hi, how are you today? No one cares. Get to the point. So thinking about what you start your video on is crucial. And if it is not interesting, cut it out. Now, what you should start your video on, mid-process, teasing the end result, showing the before and the after straight away, then going back to the steps. You can do a transition trailer. You can do things where you show the before and after with a transition. Let's say it might be like covering the lens and then showing the after, and then you go back into your step-by-step. If it's a consultation, human emotion is a huge hook when it comes to watching a video. So having in the first 3 seconds or the first clip of your consult, not, hi, what are we doing today? But instead starting with when you react and go, oh no, babe, I don't reckon we can do that. How much more interesting is that to watch than just saying, what are we doing today, guys? So finding those juicy bits in consult videos and duplicating that little section and putting it at the start is going to make your video way more watch worthy.
It's like getting them to get curious, right? It's finding that curious
Absolutely.
moment. Like, oh, what happened? Did she stuff up her hair? Or, oh, I've got to watch this now because like this application looks so cool and so fun. Or whatever it is, it's like that
Absolutely.
hook. Obviously, the hook is so important. And I love that you're focusing in on that because even watching entries from last year's Digital Hair Awards, a lot of the content didn't have that initial first 3 second hook that you're talking about. So I think finding that moment, finding that curious moment is very key to content that really translates.
Can I just
Absolutely.
chime in here for a sec?
Yeah. Is that Nat? Yeah.
I totally agree with this, totally. But I have a question for David. For everyone entering, though, is there an entry format, though?
There is an entry criteria, but we
Yeah,
didn't put hard rules on a format because of the fact that content constantly changes, right? So
yeah. But
even
there's
on,
no, because, was there any specific, you have to show a before, you have to show an after?
yeah,
Because
there
I
is.
agree. Yeah, so they
Yeah.
still need
Depends
the
on the
before.
category, I think.
It depends on the category, exactly. So you definitely have to familiarize yourself with the specific category you want to enter. What I love about the Digital Hair Awards is we've designed it in such a way that one piece of content could be eligible for 4 or 5 different categories. And
Yeah,
that's the power of the way in which people, engage content online. One might be a transformation video with a blonde look, and you might enter it into transformation and best blonde specialist. But best blonde specialist's criteria is looking at the finished work, where the transformation video is more looking at the journey you take them. So your same piece of content might win in one category and not in another category purely because of the way in which you captured the content and edited the content. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely familiarize yourself with the criteria.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I do agree with Ash. I think this, from an organic standpoint, is just the way that people are winning. But I
Mhm.
would just cross-reference just in case you need to follow a specific criteria when you are entering the award.
Absolutely. And definitely for those carousels when it's like best blonde, we need to show your beautiful blonde right up front. But maybe it's things like in your carousel, you put 4 of the same images that are slightly different, but they're not actually adding any extra value because you've just dumped in 4 images, things
Yeah.
like that, where you can still lose that attention or that impact by putting too much in there, by putting too many options in your carousel that can lose that overall impact of, wow, look at this blonde. So yeah, it definitely does come down to the criteria, whether you're entering a video, a carousel, whether it's a transformation. Those little individual things do matter. But yeah, rule of thumb, there's definitely most times when I look at a hairdresser's work, I can see things that can be cut out. And this then falls into editing, so there's filming it and then refining in your edit what does get included. So on that,
Can I
we'll
just say
segue
something on
to,
that too? Sorry, Ash, real quick.
yeah.
There's not one category in the DHAs that doesn't allow you to start with a really exciting hook. Even if it's a transformation, even if it's a skill-based category, you can still start your video with that very thing that you're talking about, which is that moment that grabs them, and then you can
Mhm.
fold back to the process or the
Yes.
transformation or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
just to be clear, I think this specific advice, and like Nat was saying, it does create organic views, and people want to hook in. None of that doesn't apply to. Sorry, all of that applies rather to all the categories of the Digital Hair
Amazing.
Awards.
That's awesome. Caitlin, I'm loving having the visual of you prepping that model away right now. If people get sick of hearing me, love that. Look at Caitlin. Okay. And, when it comes to what you film, Caitlin's going to obviously go into more detail around this in terms of what she captures with the intention knowing that this is good content to be putting in my entry. So Caitlin will definitely share a lot of that. I'm going to move on to editing now. So when it comes to editing, there are lots of different things we can learn to sharpen our carousels and our videos. But the baseline thing that is a foundational core skill is called jump cut editing. So I'm going to demo that. Some of you might be familiar with it already, but watching it and hearing me dissect and explain what's happening is really going to cement the learnings in there. On top of jump cut editing, there is also advanced editing techniques like doing a crop zoom reaction, doing a freeze frame, doing a slow-mo, doing effects. There's so many different things we can do, and you can definitely upskill and learn all of those types of advanced editing inside my Social Academy. And I'll talk about that near the end of my presentation.
Amazing. I was just going to say, I hope you teach that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to jump to my other phone and bring up, I'll stop sharing this one. All right, and then I'll bring it up on this phone. So that was on my laptop, guys. So now I'm going to give you a live demo from inside my phone. Is there any other questions while I figure this out live?
I can't see any questions at the moment, but guys, again, feel free to ask any questions, even if it's not completely directly in response to the content or the discussion. If there's something you guys want to ask, I can definitely sort of start making a record of all these questions and make sure we answer them at some point.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Share
And
screen.
while Ash is looking for that, guys, make sure we want you guys to all enter the Digital Hair Awards. I'm assuming most of you guys are planning to or have entered or are entering the DHAs. But the first thing I always recommend is get familiar with the categories, because there's a category for everybody, and the categories have been designed for you to create the type of content that, number one, doesn't disrupt your behavior. It's the stuff that you should already be creating or capturing. And number two, the type of content that does get a lot of eyes on it. We have a question real quick from Sophie Margets, is how important is the caption?
So this is Sophie's beautiful salon that I'm in right now. So she must be at home tuning in. Caption. What do you think, David? From just a social media perspective, I think the caption is where people should go to find out more, but your text on screen should address what you write in your caption. We shouldn't have to read your caption or have sound on to understand your post. But from an awards perspective, what do you think, David?
Well, to be honest with you, I can't think of many times where I haven't engaged in a post and not read the caption. Like, I always read the caption. I always read what the person writes underneath it, whether it's to do with some sports moment or a beauty moment or a fashion moment or a political moment, whatever it is that I'm engaging with at the time. I always, this is me personally, always tend to read the caption. So my response to that is, yes, it's very, very important, because I would dare say a good percentage of anyone engaging with your content is going to read that caption. And that's another way in which you can communicate, whether it's a call to action, whether it's a description, whether it's, hey, here's more information, whatever it is. I think the caption is very, very important, but it still is secondary to the actual piece of content.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So now I'm going to jump into editing some raw footage in that jump cut style. I'm going to use Edits. Edits is my preferred app. Everyone always asks this question, where should I edit my video? Edits is new. It's about maybe 6 months old. It's owned by Instagram. It's associated by Instagram. That reason in particular means it's more compatible with Instagram and it makes your life easier. So you don't have to create posts in drafts inside your Instagram app for videos. You can do this inside Edits instead now. So if I open up my my Edits app, you can see I've got my videos all drafted inside my Edits app, and it syncs really well with Instagram. It has Instagram fonts, Instagram music. You can get it already drafted in your Edits and then hit post, and it will go across to Instagram. So you can edit on CapCut, especially with the awards. You don't have to edit on a certain platform, but I just think Edits is the most user-friendly, and it's less likely to have any issues in terms of like a lot of the time people say they have issues when they upload with a third party, the fonts don't work or something happens. If you're using Edits, it's more likely to be a seamless process.
Nice. What a great tip.
Yeah, definitely download it and just start familiarizing yourself with it. I used to use InShot a lot, and I pretty much 99% of the time have now switched over to Edits because it's just easier, and it has all the things that InShot has, and it's free. That's also important.
Wow.
Edits is free. Okay, so here's some footage that I have on my phone. This is something I filmed in this space. Oh, what's it doing there? Wait 1 sec. What happened there? Sorry,
Yeah, we
it
lost.
went, unfortunately, it went blank on my phone. So
Maybe your
that's,
screen locked.
oh, no, it was there. Let me try one more time.
Type in the chat, guys, if you're going to start using edits for the first time. Just write the word edits. I know I am. I'm going to start using it. I use Video Leap. I've just like
Video
it.
leap.
I don't know
Yeah,
anyone
have
else who
you?
uses Video Leap, but I love using Video Leap because I just learned on it. But
Yeah.
edit sounds like a lot, something that's much more user-friendly and easier.
It's just easier. And at the end of the day, you guys are doing all of this on top of your full-time jobs, on top of working. Make life easier for yourself. Use something that's easier. Okay, I'm having a little bit of issues. I'm sorry, guys. It's saying.
That's right. While you sort that out, I might just jump in
Mm.
regarding the caption question. I think captions are really important, but I love copywriting and I think that you can express yourself with copy. And I think it really identifies you as an artist and as a human. So I think our tone of voice is so important and how you speak to your customer is awesome, you know? And I think they can get to know you a little bit more via your caption. But I think it's really important that you're drawing attention to the caption. So I would be like using a hook on screen and then say to them, but find out more in the caption below.
Absolutely.
And I
That's when
think
the
that's
caption
where you
allows
can,
you to have more text to
yeah.
elaborate, to really fully tell the story or the lesson or the education. Yeah.
So I do think that that's the way I utilize captions. And captions are awesome for other things. You know, you could be using other skills and other tech stacks like, you know, ManyChat to be starting to create a wait list. So there's lots of ways that you can utilize your captions and it just doesn't need to be like say for more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so those of you who feel like that's going over your head, ManyChats is another app or a sort of stack that you can plug into Instagram that allows your DMs to work on your behalf. So it'll, if you say type in the word discount
Natalie.
or Natalie, um, ManyChats will recognize that and then DM that person whatever offer you're giving them, whether it's a service discount, a salon, or a product discount, or an education discount, or some type of call to action. It's called ManyChats.
No S, chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, ManyChat.
Yeah. But you know what? Even if you study what it looks like, because I think there is a cost involved. So I think there is a free version, but then you end up having to pay a little bit. You can just manually kind of copy ManyChat. You know, the thing it's doing is it's making things easy for people. So if someone's interested in your education or interested in buying a retail product, they don't want to go to your link in bio. I guarantee you, they're not going to step away from their feed that they're scrolling and want to go tap back to your profile and find where on earth this link is. If you just tell them from their, they're scrolling, they're seeing that feed post and they read in the caption, comment, and I'll send you the link. Done. They don't have to leave their feed. They can go back to their DMs and get that link whenever they want. If they forget about it, they can go back and it's still there. So it's really powerful to make the experience just simple for the user. Okay, so I've got my raw footage here. So this is a 2-minute clip that I filmed just on a tripod at this salon with Soph, the salon owner and stylist as well from here. And so in this 2 minutes, obviously, I'm not going to post a 2-minute video of just foiling. We know that that is going to flop. No one's going to watch the whole 2 minutes. They might be a little bit interested at the start, but they're going to definitely fade off. So the goal is, how am I going to make this 2-minute footage right down, get this short enough to be a very short, just bite-sized little clip that I can post by itself. That's definitely a great tip. You don't have, this is just not for the awards, but just in general, you don't have to always show a before, a during, and after. There's no reason why you just can't share a mid-process. Do you know how much easier your life would be if you started posting more feed content that is just one little step and not the whole orchestration of the entire process? That's just something just to think about in terms of when you're going, what am I going to post? What am I going to post? You can post bite-sized things. So if I'm looking at this footage, I'm using my hand. Can you guys see me? I just can't see myself at the moment.
Yeah, we can see
I'm
it.
using my hand, my finger to guide where I am. I'm not pressing play because that's too slow for my brain. And I'm visually watching as I pan across, when is it interesting? Where should I start my video? I definitely think when her hands are in the front of the frame, that's a bit, it's not as punchy, you know, the hand is covering the head. It's not a clear, crisp start. So I don't want to use anything where her arm is in that foreframe. And I think maybe somewhere around here where the hair's been kind of pulled up. Key thing with any content when it comes to hair, where are their shapes? It doesn't have to be always shapes and finished hair. This is an interesting shape on screen. Seeing that diagonal line of the hair going up, that is interesting. So I'm like, okay, I think that's a good spot to start my video. If I'm looking at this line, this middle line here, that is telling me where I am in the video. So I know I'm at about 9 seconds in here. So I'm going to go from here and I'm going to press the button split. So just splitting that button that says split, and it looks like a cut down the middle. And what it's done is it's made 2 pieces. So this is where I wanted to start my video. All of this before then, I don't need, and I'm going to press delete. So the only 2 buttons you need is split and delete. We are selecting the footage we want to keep, and we are deleting the footage we don't want. We are jumping to the better scene. So we know that's where we want to start the video. And then I'm thinking, okay, maybe I just need like her hands like that. So I'm going to press split. And maybe this bit where she starts like, you know, she puts her hand in the foil, she kind of fiddles around. We probably don't even need that, you know, especially whenever your hands get a bit fiddly, repetitive, not super intentional. That's all stuff we don't need. So I'm going to press split and that section delete. So you can see we go from here to here. So you're jumping just to the interesting bit. And this is something you can keep refining. Like now I'm looking at it, I'm like, do I even need that first bit? I'm waiting till like something more happens. So I'm like looking up and she's like, okay, this is looking interesting. With the tail, I can see that tail comb. So I'm going to go split here. All that stuff before, don't need. Straight to the action. We're cutting out repetition. We're cutting out when anything's not happening. Split. So this is a key thing I've just noticed a lot from editing. As soon as you pick that hair up, you've got this dead time of picking up a foil. So when she's picking up this foil, nothing is happening on screen. There is a good 3 seconds of nothing happening. That is a perfect example of dead time that we want to cut out. So we're going to go wait until she gets that foil. And sometimes getting the foil is a bit fiddly. So I even wait until it's like nice and crisp in that packaged up and she's about to place it down. There. Split. All that section before, 7 whole seconds. Delete. So we're jumped from grabbing the hair, putting the foil down. So much dead time, so much more interest happening on screen that our eyes are keeping up with, that our eyes are drawn to. Again, another dead time when you guys pick up your brush. When you pick up your brush from the bowl, nothing's happening on screen. So let's just jump straight to when the brush starts entering the screen again. Split, delete. So there we go, down, paint. Another thing that you definitely don't need that much of. We don't need to see your hand going like this 1,000 times. Just 2 strokes, 3 strokes, that's more than enough. 1, 2, 3, done. All of this, not going to worry, especially that little swirly one at the end. Don't need it. We're going to go bang, bang, bang. Maybe you could do one here if you wanted, like one at the end. So let's go here, split, all of that repetition, that repetitive movement, take it out. Exactly. So, and this is coloring, but same thing applies when you're curling hair, when you're blow drying. We don't need to see you doing stretching and pulling the hair 3 times. Let's just see one awesome, long, beautiful pulling and stretching of the hair, or one curl coming out. So last of the one, and then no, don't need this. Her hands covering kind of the visuals again. My head is going, when does she fold up that foil? That's my next cue. Yep, here. So split. All that section before, delete. Packaged up. And then I'm going to finish it there. And then maybe sometimes if she does that good little swipe, yeah, I think that feels like a nice little complete moment. Swipe. Oh no, this one. This one looks good. So this is like live inside my brain thinking, okay, what looks good? And I'm choosing that one instead of the one I just mentioned before. And look, it becomes such an easy thing to do once you start doing it. And this is just a skill that you guys all have. You're visual people. You know when things are satisfying. This is definitely all things that your eye is trained to know. It's just utilizing it in a way that gets better edited videos, better views. So all of that section afterwards, I'm deleting. I've got that down to 8 seconds. 2 minutes down to 8 seconds. If I press play here, we can see what it looks like. Oh, no, it's freezing on me. Oh, it doesn't like it. I'll pan across so that you can see that. Sorry.
Nice. And
So
Ash,
simple.
is this a video that is this a section of a video that you're demonstrating how to cut 2 minutes down to 8 seconds, or is this part? So is this part of a bigger potential moment, or you're just showing like literally what an 8 second video can do just to be interesting?
If I was going to enter this into an awards,
Yeah.
I think the category you would want to do is like best hair hack, something around a coloring hair hack.
Yep.
And what you'd be doing is you'd be utilizing that white wall to add text to share that hair hack as well as in the caption.
Yeah.
This framework of jump cutting is absolutely applicable for any step-by-steps or any consultation videos, basically any videos where you're refining and you're taking out the repetition or the boring sections. So if it was in the consultation, sometimes there's actually something called like the millennial pause, which is millennials taking a deep breath before they start talking. That's the perfect example of something you cut out for your end video.
Yeah.
If it's a step-by-step, it would be this process, but with, the next step. We would do this with also the toner, and then we'll do this again for the blow dry, and then we reveal the hair. So
I think what was really helpful with this for me is just you demonstrating how to cut down footage, right? Because some people are shooting for like 2 minutes straight. I always tell my guys when they're capturing stuff on set, or if we're capturing stuff for M Division, for the Journal magazine, or whatever content we're creating, I'd say try your best to have no more than 6 second clips, right? Find the magic in the moment. For a hairdresser, if they're doing a whole full head of foils and they've got nobody else there, they've got a tripod filming, they can't afford to do that, right? They can't go back and forth unless you have the ability to work with someone who can capture the content for you. But this is a great way to use edits to cut down the footage, to delete and keep and find the magic. I think it's genius, guys. So well done, Ash. I think that's amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you love. So I'll give you just a little bit of a teaser inside what else you can learn from editing inside my social academy, just as a little preview. These are full tutorials taking you through how to do editing. So one in particular that I think if you're, some of you guys would understand jump cut editing already, but things like a reaction crop, learning how to do a reaction crop.
The next editing tip I'm going to show you is a reaction crop. So this is great for when you have footage where you or your client are reacting in some form. So this raw footage I have here is a really cute moment. You can.
Another one, photo editing. We won't have time to go through it tonight, but photo editing, nothing to do with the face or the actual hair, but editing to make your picture pop from a background perspective. That is all covered in there as well. That is my little demo.
How do people get access to your academy?
Yes. So it's all online. It's 6 courses all up, bundled together. You sign up through my website. Anyone who's interested in the course, just send me a DM and I'll send you a custom link to get 30% off for attending tonight's class. So just message me on Instagram. Just give me a DM and I'll give you a custom discount. Yeah.
30% off.
I think she lifted it 10% because earlier she was like 20. I was like, dead girl.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna do that myself. I think that's great. I think we as the Digital Hair Awards should be promoting more education like this. So amazing offer, Ash. And you've really been able to identify the areas that I guess a fundamental to understanding social media and how to educate hairdressers on the best way to capture, to edit, to understand photography, to understand the different apps, and it's a big, crazy, complex world, and everybody's focusing on doing their clients and building their business and paying their taxes, God help us. But to have an academy that just makes it really bite-sized and really easy like that, I think is a true gift to the industry. Thank you so much, Ash. That was phenomenal. And of course, guys, DM Ash on Social Coach Ash, her
That's
Instagram
it.
handle at Social Coach Ash. And tonight you get 30% off her academy course, which is a huge discount. A huge discount. So well done. Congratulations. Okay, so it's we've got to move on. We've got to move on.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Ash.
Thank you, guys.
I think just before we head off to you, stream off to you, Caitlin, Nat, do you want to sort of chime in on anything so far and just sort of like add to some of the key learnings that we've had in relation to capturing and editing and from your journey?
Oh, where do you even? I just have to echo a lot of what Ash was saying, but I think, times have changed. And, I've been creating content since MySpace. So it's been 15 plus years, right? And it's changed so much. I went back and did that recent trend, and I was looking through archives of time online. And it's a really good post. I actually pinned it if you guys want to see it, because it's really good to just reflect sometimes on like how far you've come. And social media is the most beautiful way to document your journey. And I think people keep talking about like, how do you get over the cringe, and how do you like, even come to bring yourself to post things. I just think do it for yourself. If you can look back at your career in 15, 20, 30 years time, it's just such a beautiful memory to have. And I wish I started earlier, So that's my 2 cents while Caitlin gets ready.
Amazing. Just speaking of cringe, one of the biggest beauty content creators on TikTok once gave me some really awesome advice. And I just asked her about her journey. And she said, David, the best advice I can give anyone who wants to start, creating content and grow their social media is you need to climb over cringe mountain, right? And I thought that was genius, because all of us have that fear of feeling like, oh my God, people are going to think this is cringy, or I'm embarrassed, or I don't want to put myself out there, or what if they don't like what I do? You know what? Get over that part, like break the fear barrier and, find your people. So are you going to say something, Nat?
I still think that there's layers of the mountain of cringe, right? So like I've been creating content again for a really long time. And Macy and I had this conversation today, and she's like, how come I don't see you talking about your product. You've never sold your product to me. I was like, I have to get the fuck over myself. Because that's what it is. Like I can sell other people's product. Like I sell Kaleo and extensions and this, but have you ever seen me go, hey, this is my product, buy it? No. So there's layers to it as well. Like as much as I'm still uncomfortable with certain things. And I think it just takes time and practice and, entering competitions like this, and then, finally entering, or even having people like back you up and just big you up, and having a community of hairdressers that will do that, it really helps.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about the Digital Hair Awards community. It's been such an incredible thing to watch how much support everybody gets, because part of entering the DHA is you collaborate with our account and our Instagram account. Of course, once your entry is approved, we accept the collaboration. And once that collaboration is on the grid, everybody's engaging, everybody's communicating. People can see your work, and there's this beautiful community growing of content creators. Now, before we move on to Caitlin, Ash, I just wanted to say, I know you had more to share in your presentation. I'm guessing you had more to share in your presentation.
Oh, just the boring bit, just the text hooks, though. Unless you want me to go through it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe if people want to see the presentation or get more out of what or get the rest of your presentation, feel free to go through the last few slides quickly right now. Just show us what you had in the prezzo. But somebody's just saying, I have to jump off shortly, so getting my question in now. Struggling with my content, looking crisp. It's looking a bit dull. I'd love to get any of your tips for this and camera settings. And Rachel Kiddo's asking, is there a product award? Absolutely, there's a product award, and it's attached tonight to Nat's offer. It's called Best Product Tutorial. So we'll talk about that. But quickly for Julie Rose, She wants to know, guys, what are some quick tips on getting her content to look a little bit less dull, more crisp, more impactful visually, colors, lighting, brightness, all that sort of stuff. And maybe we'll start with you, Nat, and now she can chime in.
Julie, I would really love for you to just send me your profile, because I hate answering this question off the cuff, because it could be a matter of like you cleaning your screen. Like, are we there, or are we like trying to level up our lighting setting? Like, let's look at the clear differences between my lighting, Ash's lighting, and David's lighting. Right? So it's, it's
My
very
light is
different.
terrible.
No, but it
I've
depends,
got this
right?
big
And
screen ahead of me,
I've
so my
got
light's
one,
really high.
I've got one light on at the
Same.
moment, and it just depends on the environment. I need to see a little bit more for me to be able to like help you out. But
Yeah.
there's lots of really cost-effective tools that are available. And yeah, send it to me and I'll give you a little.
Yeah. Let's see your light, Nat. Can we see it?
Yeah, it's the Phone King light. Sorry. Hi.
Hey, it's
yeah.
Emil. Yeah, that's a great light. I like that light.
It's so good. It's amazing. And like you could have two of them set up, and like one can wash the like backdrop, which makes it feel a little bit lighter. And then you can have one right on the subject. You have the ability to turn it down, brighten it up, change the saturation. And they're the controlled sort of settings that I feel like you really need to have when you are creating content. And if you're saying it needs to be more crisp, then I would be looking at the way that you're exporting as well, because sometimes if you're exporting and the resolution is too low, it can kind of, look dull.
Yeah. And just with the position of the light is really important. So you'll see the difference with me. I've got a lot of shadows under my eyes and shadows under my glasses because my light is super high above this really wide screen I have that I work from, which helps me with my everyday workflow. But Nat's light would be a little lower and shining directly on her face, so there's no shadows. Just you see the beauty of her gorgeous face. Her lips pop and the hair picks up the light, right? So the position of the light as well as the quality of the light. Ash, did you want to sort of chime in at all with lighting?
Yeah, well, I'll just quickly show you my light. Mine's I don't have the tripod, so I've literally got it sitting up on the case, but if you could see it there. What I love about it is it's handheld portable though, like literally tiny, so compact. And that's called the Mackay Beauty Light. They're really cool company. Again, I can send anyone a link to it. But yeah, what I love about it the most is that it's really, really compact, like really compact. I find it really tricky to have a big giant light because I'm always here, there, everywhere. So this I can have in my kit anywhere and have some light available. With Julie as well, shout out to Julie. She's actually doing one of my 30-day challenge at the moment. So I'm very aware of her question and I do have plenty of tips for her. She is a colorist. So I think what she's talking about more is that consult kind of angle in her videos, and we're still trying to nail getting that little bit crisper video footage from that kind of consult point of view. But yeah, I think phone settings is a big one. Phone type is a big one. Probably filming on 4K when it's in that kind of consult point of view. I also love ×2, filming on ×2 at the moment. I feel like it just works better. It gets you
through the mirror as well.
Yeah. Instead of like the front camera, absolutely. Yeah.
So can I have that for 2 seconds? Yeah, it's all right. I'll just want the phone and the tripod so I can show them. So I'm going to picture you being the mirror, right? That's where I would put the tripod.
It's here. It's kind of like behind you. Yeah.
And then I would have it, if you can, and you trust yourself, front camera. And I would put that on 2 times. And then I would just move the phone out of screen. But even if it's in frame, it doesn't matter. Like people want to see the activity. If anything, people would then probably go, oh, that's the angle that you're shooting your consultations on. And that through the mirror is really beautiful. Try that.
Yeah, really good. Really cool. Okay, Caitlin Berry is going to jump on now. And
I am muted.
Yeah, well, you're unmuted now.
You're good.
Spotlight.
Perfect. All right, guys. Just quickly, I've got a beautiful model here. I feel like this isn't the best positioning that I would create content from for you guys, but this will give you a really good kind of look of how I create content, and so you can see everything as well. Just really quickly, I have taken my beautiful Joe here, and we have just used the Kaleo extra large tong, and I've just done basically a pretty basic pin curl set. I have teased her roots before setting it with the tong. The reason why I use the extra large is because it's like pretty much the exact same size as a round brush. So it's going to give me the same shape without having to do all the hard work with my round brush. Content. I'm literally in the salon by myself every day. I don't have any hands. I don't have any other person. It's just me and my little tripod. This one is just from Phone King. It is literally a, what do they call that? MagSafe. MagSafe. I've also got the Phone King light. I'll quickly spin you around. Hopefully I don't make a mess of anything. That's why it's so crisp in here. I don't have the best lighting in the salon because I don't normally work overnight and I have natural light, which is usually better. But this is great. Like, is this not glowing? Glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll quickly show you what I would do to create content. I do this every day when I'm using it. I literally get my phone on my tripod. Can you see that or you can't?
Yeah, we can see. It's good.
Okay, perfect. I will get her. So we need to make sure that we have our grid on and our level. That is like the biggest thing that I use, just because I have a little bit of OCD, and if it's like crooked, won't post it. So I make sure it's straight. So that line needs to be yellow to see that it is straight. I have her in the center there. I've got her dead in the middle, like her face. If you want it to be crisper, we do love a ×2, as Ash just said. I think with the way that it is today, maybe that'll be a bit too. No, that's giving.
It's good for us. We can see her a bit more. Yeah.
Can you see everything?
Yeah, that's
well,
nice.
we can see her a bit clearer. She's quite far away from our view.
Yeah.
And guys, just as a photographer, I know you guys see this as ×1 and ×2, but it's basically either using another lens, which changes the way in which the subject appears. Like, it doesn't warp the actual composition of the frame. So ×2 is more like a portrait lens where everything feels like the same way you see it with your own eyes. So that's why it's also a great option for content creation. That ×2, we're referring to the ×2 on an iPhone, is a great lens focal length because it looks really beautiful on screen.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I always do my content.
Bring it forward.
Yeah, no, I'm going to just show you this, and then I'm going to bring the whole camera forward. This is just to show you. But yeah, that's all I do. ×2. I like her to be in that dead center of the grid. It's the easiest way. I feel like as well, everyone's been talking about their models and having like these beautiful, gorgeous models with makeup. I don't have that accessibility here, I guess. My clients are just my clients. They're just the girl down the street. This is literally my neighbour. She's come with her Ugg boots on and no makeup on. And you know what? This content will be giving anyways because we've got good lighting. She's going to have beautiful hair. And she's just a beautiful girl, so it's very easy. But I'm going to finish showing you what I was doing with the styling, so I'll move you in closer. Oh, I feel like, I'll be able to go like that. Is that better for everyone to see now?
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit closer if you can go a little bit.
Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can. I'm going to set up my phone behind this because we can't not get the content. As you can see, Joe has just had a fresh colour done, ready for today. I have already done all that except for this front. I'm going to grab, because of the size of the Kaleo extra large tong, it's so long, it's so big, you don't need to take little sections. Makes it a lot quicker and easier for you. Just going to get my tail comb. We are just going to comb her up in the direction that we want that volume. Little gentle tease, nothing too crazy. And that just sets the tease in. Learnt that from Don Kelly, actually. Our tong in, we're going to go away from the face. I've also already assessed kind of how I want the hair to sit. I want it to go to the side. I think at the moment side parts are just they give more texture than a middle part. Adds a little bit more interest as well. So we don't want to manipulate the curl too much. We're just going to pretty much pull it in that exact same shape that it had around the tong. And we are setting it with a Natalie Anne creaseless clip, of course, and lots of texture spray. You obviously need to let this completely cool before you start taking it out. Otherwise, it's just going to drop or not have all of the body that you want. This is also a really great content opportunity. I will show you what I use for that as well. So
definitely agree with that. A curl drop is so satisfying to see that, dropping out.
In the salon, I, again, only have a little space. One side is like completely colours and products and everything, so that's off limits. But I have a clean, crisp white wall that we use for everything else. So I make sure that there's nothing kind of in the background. So let me get to my thing. I make sure that we can see all of her hair, that it looks clean and crisp. I like to get my phone. If anyone can't see this, please just let me know. We make sure that we've cleaned our camera lens, guys. And then this is what I've been loving at the minute. Can we see that?
This is great, Caitlin.
It's good. I've been loving lowering the exposure just a little bit. And if you do it on the image before you take it or the video before you take it, it just makes it more, Ash can probably tell you the answer for that. What does it do? Because if you lower the exposure in your actual camera afterwards, it's not the same. Why is that?
I'll have to look into that. I think they both do this. I think they can do this same thing. Yeah. So I definitely do the low exposure trick, but I do it post. I never do it when I'm filming. So I think each your own,
Yeah.
I think it's what you feel comfortable with. I think you have more control over in post, but if you're a visual person and you want to see it then and there.
Yeah.
Like you. Yeah.
I just find it gives it that really moody look, and you don't have to edit it later. It's already done.
Yeah.
It's already literally, I'll try and make sure you can really see what I'm talking about. So this is her now. This is her if we just lower it that little bit. See how it just defines her face that little bit more, adds a little bit more texture in the hair as well. We always make sure you do both sides just in case. You never know. One side might be better than the other. And you don't know if you don't do it. So, see, I'm so pedantic though. You can see my trolley in the background. Big hit. That's what a big
I do think that angle, I love how I can see these white circles of the rolls. Again, talking weird shapes brain. My eye is drawn to seeing those shapes above her head of the roller and the symmetry of all three in her head. So I do think that frame is very attention grabbing.
Oh yeah, it's giving even that way, isn't it, guys? But yeah, see how, so we click it, you see that little square that comes up with the sun? We're just lowering that ever so slightly. Oh, that's a bit too much. And we're on ×2 as well here. It just also crops out any of the noise in the background. Makes the most sense for me.
Caitlin's also taking photos on full-size vertical, guys, not her standard 3x4.
Yeah, isn't that just standard for everyone? Sorry.
No, I don't reckon. I think you should call it out, yeah.
So we're going to take these out. Again, I am going to make content. So I would typically do kind of the back half in a backwards video and then the front half I spin her around. Again,
what do you use the photos for again, Caitlin? I don't know if I missed that. What are the photos for?
Carousel. She's a carousel queen.
Carousel.
Of course. What am I saying?
They're really good to put on your story if you have an announcement or availability or anything like that. They're really great.
Carousels tend to be more images than videos. They can be videos, but they do
cover image for a reel.
Yeah, there's so many things. So
they just love a good photo.
Yes, we love a good filler photo. All right, we're going to start pulling some of these out. And again, it's just the aesthetics.
So this you could just film. You could have your tripod going and just filming you pulling them all out from the back. And then we're going to use that jump cut editing style to make it a really engaging little snippet of seeing these beautiful curls dropping out of the hair.
Yes. We've also, because my salon's at home, I just bring in different jackets for people to wear. That's going to complement their hair the most. So this was literally, I thought about what colour her hair was, what's going to complement her colour the most. The amount of times I literally change with my clients so that they've got the right jumper or jacket on. It's something to think about. The colour just look different depending on what they've got on.
It's a great idea to have a couple of blazers, especially, you know, if they've got dark hair and against a black cape, it's really hard to see. So having those contrasting jacket colour that people can put on is really, really good.
This is awesome. Hey guys, I want to take this opportunity while we're sort of unraveling this incredible look, just to go through all the exciting offers everyone's providing tonight. So we'll start again with you, Ash. You're offering 30% off your social media academy. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Amazing. And to get in contact with you, they've just got to DM you on Social Coach Ash on Instagram.
That's
just say, hey, I was in the masterclass with DHAs and I'd love to claim my 30% discount, or at least know a little bit more about what your academy is worth and you know, my specific exclusive offer. I know Natalie Anne has an incredible offer as well tonight. So Nat, do you want to share that? Do you want me to go through that?
You can go through that. Don't butcher it and add another like 1,000.
No, I won't butcher it. Okay.
No,
So
joking,
we've got a great new category in the Digital Hair Awards this year called Best Product Tutorial. And product tutorials for me are so exciting because what once was a turn off to hairdressers who are trying to flog product, or product companies that are trying to flog product, has become a very, very interesting and highly engaged piece of content on social media. People love watching product tutorials on social media. They love it. They want to know more about it. They want to hear from a hairdresser. They want to know it's genuine, and they want to know it's sincere, right? So Nat is offering to anyone who's part of tonight's masterclass, anybody who shoots for that category, best product tutorial, which I think you should all consider. And if you final at the DHAs, okay, using Natalie Anne Hair Care, you will win $1,000 worth of product from Natalie Anne Hair Care. Just if you final for best product tutorial, okay, using Natalie Anne Hair Care. If you happen to win that category, if you win best product tutorial, you'll also get, valued at thousands of dollars, 1 hour free mentor session with Natalie Anne herself for anything in relation to your business, your career, your social media, your opportunity to grow, just basically being able to pick her brain for 1 hour if you win. So if you final, it's $1,000 worth of Natalie Anne Hair Care, but you've got to use Natalie Anne Hair Care product in your best product tutorial. Or it can be just one of many products. You don't have to use all of the products.
It's very, very, very easy product to use, you know?
Yeah, and that's why we want to include it. So a lot of people do product tutorials where they're using like Nat will use a Kaleo hot tool. She'll use a hair extension brand, but she'll also use Natalie Anne Hair Care. So she's got 3 products going on in the one tutorial. So that's an incredible offer. Our offer tonight is as well for everybody tonight who's part of the DHA community or becomes part of the DHA community tonight by entering the DHAs and securing credits. We will match dollar for dollar whatever you buy. We've just had an incredible weekend of buy one, get one free. We're extending it to you guys tonight. Anyone tonight till midnight tonight who jumps on the DHA portal, registers creates an account. Even by creating an account, you get free education with the Creator Hub, even if you don't even buy an entry or buy a credit. But anyone who buys a 1-pack, a 3-pack, a 5-pack, a 10-pack tonight, we will double that for you. And I say that sincerely because you will find that you'll want to enter more than 2 or 3 times, because one piece of content, number one, can be valid for multiple entries. And the other thing is, you can enter content you've created since the 1st of August last year. From the 1st of August last year, anything you've posted on social media since today, you can go back and you can just add the hashtag and enter that piece of content, as well as the content you may be already working on or have already created recently and you're just about to post.
Or you could do a new edit with the new hook strategy.
Or you can use Ash's tips.
The best performing post. Locate it in your drafts and just tweak it, change it up, make it more optimized, make it more hooky, and enter that. I think that's a great way of, utilizing those extra entries you're going to have.
Absolutely. So that's our offer tonight from us from the Digital Hair Awards. I've got some people messaging. People have already done that. I purchased 10, so I get 10 free. Correct. If you yes, Helene is actually a winner from last year's Digital Hair Awards. She won Best Texture Style or Best Texture Cut. Can't remember. Helene, I'd love you to share quickly your journey and tell us about why you entered the Digital Hair Awards.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I didn't think you could hear me. Darling, look, I've been in hairdressing, you all know, for 42 years. That's pretty long. And it's weird being in a new era, as Nat said. It's a different time. It's incredible that I've tried to stay update with it. But what I actually love about this is what you actually have sold tonight, and often is that you've given us a platform, everyone with high skills, to move forward. And even if you don't have the skill that you think you do, you learn on your journey, and it's incredible. And
We love you, Helene.
no, seriously, guys, like I can't even begin to tell you the passion that still lies in me. And that's only because of all of the success of your competitions. They drive me, they make me better than what I, was before. And I've actually had a one-on-one meeting with Ash, actually. And it was interesting for me because it was a little bit difficult for me because I am from a different generation totally. But it doesn't matter. Now, I'm laughing about the edits because that's all I ever use, except I'm a pain that I'm stuck in the ways of longer ones and I've got to get out of that. But the edits, guys, use them. They edits is the best on Instagram. The way she cuts it, I do that all the time. I'm going for the kill this year. I'm going to put in a lot of entries. I've already got it all on my phone since March and now, and I'm just finalising. And as was it Caitlin said? Caitlin said, I use my clients. I've never used a professional model in my life, and I've won a lot of awards throughout the years. And I'm so, like anyone can do it, guys. That's what's freaking me out. If you've got the will, you will find the way. Just do
Absolutely.
it.
Well done.
You
Thank you
know,
so much. Thank you so much,
you're
Helene. I really
welcome.
appreciate it. Congratulations on your incredible win. Can't wait to see your entries this year. And
Lots
I
of
love your
texture, lots
passion.
of everything. Yeah.
Love the way you do textured hair. So, guys, like you said, 42 years in hairdressing, and you're starting to unpack the whole new world of opportunity with the Digital Hair Awards. So,
Yes.
any of you out there who've been around and may think that this is not for you because you're not the age group that you might think is relevant to the Digital Hair Awards, it is for everybody, absolutely everybody. Okay, we're going to head back over to Caitlin. And we're going to hear from you, Caitlin. That hair is looking phenomenal. Take us through where where we've landed.
So I've brushed it all out. I literally just used a comb and I've gotten rid of it somewhere. I did that. Don't know. It was just an extra wide Kaleo, whatever. What are they called? That's so
Wide comb.
a wide comb. Wide comb. So that it just like aerates the hair instead of like really brushing it out, because we've teased it and then set the curl into the tease. We don't want to get the comb and pull all of that tease out to fix the purpose. We want to keep that in there so that it keeps as much body as we possibly can. I finished it with some texture spray because I love texture, but I feel like just to really refine that shape around the face, just some light hairspray, nothing too rogue. You don't want anything too heavy. And I like to just kind of pick where I'd like to add that kind of height and shape and spray there. I don't just you kind of pick it where you want to add that body and that shape. And this took me a bit longer because I'm obviously explaining it all and taking you through the content. But this is so much quicker than actually doing a bouncy blow dry. Like I did a bouncy blow dry on the other day. It took me ages. And I left and I was like, my arms are so sore. This, no sore arms. And it probably will last even longer as well.
Beautiful.
Just dressing her out, but see how the jacket is making her colour pop.
Mm.
I just had a black cape on her. It's just a bit boring. Everyone else posts that to be a little bit different, just a different jacket. It's really simple and easy.
Yeah. And I love that you consider styling and makeup. One of the tips that the free education video that's on the DHA portal, once you create your account, you have access to, is with James Earnshaw, who's the global creative ambassador for Wella globally, and he's an incredible content creator. Many of you might be following James Earnshaw, but he talks about how he makes sure that no models that he does on social media haven't got their makeup done first. He makes sure they all get their makeup done, whether they do it themselves or not. And from what I can tell, your beautiful model's got her makeup done, unless she's a natural beauty. But I can see the glow, I can see the cheeks.
No, it's naturally this pretty.
She's just naturally this pretty, and that's even better. So, I mean, as long as there is some level of consideration across what they're wearing, whether they need makeup or whether they're lucky like you, Caitlin, with your beautiful model who doesn't need makeup, because it just adds that extra layer of, I guess, attention-grabbing content.
Yeah, correct.
I think there are some angles and ways you can make a video to avoid showing a face if you don't want to or you can't. I don't think that should limit your capability to create a great video or enter. I definitely think, yes, absolutely agree. Makeup just makes that extra wow factor.
But it's not necessary.
Yeah, but I've definitely seen, videos do crazy well that don't show any face. So
and I also think that if you look at somebody like Kane Vakai, he's doing, and Caitlin, like you're doing consultations on real clients who don't come prepared, and they're just popping the fuck off, like and they had no makeup, but the transformation and the storytelling and the hook, and that it's going to be amazing, because like if anything, I would have to argue that less is more these days. The less curated, the less done up, it's crazy how things are changed. I never thought that would come out of my mouth, but it is, because it's just winning right now.
Yeah. And it's about your audience, right? What's that, Caitlin?
Everyone's craving human connection at the moment, and having beautiful models all the time doesn't give you that human connection. It just feels like an ad, where if it's, a beautiful, normal person that you see down the street, feels more like organic and real.
Yeah.
I call it inspirational, but attainable. You're inspired that you go, oh, I really like that hair, but it's within your reach. It's attainable to your world, to what you could do. I think that's the sweet spot we want. And I guess, again, it's just the beast of Instagram being so old. It's almost like there's always this evolution of like, what performs because it's like new, and then once it gets a bit too fatigued, the Instagram model, the face tune, the face up, face out. When there's too much of that, we start to move away from that, and we are more interested in something that's more refreshing, which is more relatable people, more video, things like video as well, because it's more authentic. It feels more in the moment. You can't do those layers of editing like you can with a still image. I think it's that evolution of what we feel is within reach to us, and we can take on board as ourselves as the user and go, oh, that could be me.
Yeah, no, agreed. And I guess what I'm hearing is there's no real wrong or right when it comes to that sort of thing, right? Because some people curate their pages to be, really sort of polished, and some people just want the everyday person and make it real super attainable and approachable and not like staged. And I guess again, it's just finding your audience and finding out what works for the work that you kind of create. So my takeaway from all of that, guys, is understand who's watching your content, and then of course focus in on what works for your social media. Because I mean, Nat, I know you've said this to me before, is like you've got to understand what pops on your page, right? You can't just go from one subject matter to the next. Like you figure out your niche, you figure out exactly what works best for you. You don't oversaturate either. You're always pushing back. I know to drive a specific message consistently. You're always making sure that your audience is considered. Tell us more about how you've learnt and how to hear and understand the audience that engages with you.
Well, I mean, broadly, it's called social listening, right? And I think you really need to be in tune with not only your vanity metrics, like what's happening, from likes and comments and shares, but you really need to be looking into your comments. What are they interacting with more? Like, what are they asking for? What are they, I guess, saving more? That is a really interesting metric that hasn't been around for a very long time. But it is something that is definitely being prioritized by Instagram. So it's something that I would be looking at, but also asking your clients, when they're in your chair, and I don't have this luxury anymore, but I used to ask my clients, what piece of content did you love the most this month? Because they watched all of it. And that's the kind of information that I can't get anymore, right? And it's the one that I miss the most because they're like your clients just tell you how it is, right? They're your realist. They're the ones like, oh, I loved this. Oh, I love that girl, but she had too much work done. Or, and it's this constant thing that they love giving you that insider sort of scoop. And that's your dream customer is the one in your chair, right? So you want to be creating content that's constantly, you're chasing after that dream client.
I love that.
And making sure that you're adding value to them.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. Okay, Caitlin, do you want to sort of wrap up your look and talk us through where your head's at right now?
Yeah, I've moved Jo off of the chair. Now she's just on a stool. I find that just a little bit easier for content. Sometimes you don't have the chair in the background, so it makes it a little bit more cleaner and crisper. I also like sitting them down. I feel like it stops them from doing that awkward sway, makes them a little bit more comfortable. We love using their shoulders to create width. Luckily, this jacket just does that for us naturally. We don't have to lean her forward to make it even bigger. But yeah, I'm just going to get giving that phone king light, guys. I wasn't sure about it because I hate artificial light, I'm not going to lie. And I had a few DMs about it because I posted it the other day. But it actually... really windy here, sorry. The door just blew open.
I thought it was maybe your daughter.
I thought it was a child for a second. No. But yeah, the light's actually really working, guys. Can we see that?
Yeah.
I love when you're taking photos too. You're taking you're definitely doing that lower angle, but you're also doing some more asymmetrical framing. You're not just doing hair smack in the middle. You're thinking how can this be interesting?
Move around and try all different angles. I don't have a set. I have set ones that I do, but I feel like sometimes the hair just sits different and you're better to have more content than not enough. Sometimes the last picture you took will be the best one and it'll be the 1,000th photo. So makes most sense to take more.
Love. Absolutely love. What a beautiful finished look. And that side part, Wade Amber also commented, looks incredible. Incredible.
We love
Okay. So guys, we are about to enter our Q&A section, which is questions to any of our incredible speakers tonight. So feel free to either type a question in the chat, or if you'd like to actually ask the question personally, just say, please, just give us a nudge to unmute you, a request to unmute you, or just type in the chat, please unmute. So you've got 3 insanely and incredibly knowledgeable people on this session that can help with all things content, socials, and now is the time to ask the question. So let's go.
Looks so good.
Yeah, can we see that properly?
Yeah, so pretty.
I like that angle. And see how her hair, her face is there and it's adding, but there's more hair than there is face. I think that's quite important too. The hair is still the main thing. It's taking up 70% of that frame, and there's that 30% little pop of eye that's making it, bringing it together, but it's still around the hair.
Yeah, the hair's the main character.
Okay, unmute here. There we go, Helene.
I just wanted to ask, because this has been a big thing since digital started, and luckily I have been a finalist with quite a few of them, but I wanted to know really what would you state no longer than this amount? But a serious question I'd like, what would be a nice timing for our videos? Because the thing is, when you read the instructions, and that's what I wanted to share, was it always says we need to see basically your skill from start to beginning. And that's where I think over the years I've been lost, trying to put too much and articulate my skill. So, is it 40 seconds? Is it 30 seconds? Is it 8, so that I can nail that?
Yeah,
Dave, she's talking about an entry specifically, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There isn't a specific time, is there? That
No, it's funny when I was talking to Nat when we were talking about the criteria in the early days when we were conceptualizing the DHAs, Nat suggested we don't put a time limit on any content because long format is coming back in a big way.
Right.
And I think long format belongs on social media and people want to see more. It's about
they want it as a part one, part two. They don't want it as a one video. I have to disagree with you.
Well, I
guys.
mean, again, like how long is part 1 and part 2, right? So
a minute
obviously
and a half.
Yeah.
Minute and a half. Like,
90
obviously
seconds.
for the entries for the awards, it can be whatever you want it to be, but attention spans are low. If we're talking about social media, if we're talking about getting someone to watch your video till the end, which then tells the algorithm, people are watching this. Let's send it to more people because people were going to stay on our app if we send it to more people. That is the crux of how you get people to, for a video to go viral. It needs lots of eyeballs, and there is I think nothing really should go over a minute and a half. And really, the only times it should be a minute and a half is because you're talking, whether it's a consult talking or a voiceover talking. But if you're not doing talking audio, it should be, I think, under 30 seconds.
Yeah. And I agree.
That's for social, that's not so much for the awards, but if this is all about getting visibility on Instagram, not your video being not too long, not too repetitive, showing the best bits is the way to go.
Agreed.
Yes, and more for the competition though. Look, to be honest with you, I've got a salon in Parramatta in the West, and I sort of sometimes, I have to be honest, I think it's laughable because I don't have a lot of followers. I've got 8,000 something. My salon is extremely busy, and Instagram has been my biggest asset because whether people are pressing like or not, you can ask beautiful Ellie, my salon gets jam packed. And it's your work. Your work brings them in. It's people say to me all the time, "Oh my God, I couldn't stop. I had to look at your work. It's incredible. You show long hair, short hair, textured hair, and you show fashion forward looks." So I think it's about just selling yourself on Instagram.
Yeah, and I think there's sort of like basic fundamental rules around time. Well, on social media, I agree with Ash, like a minute and a half, 90 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 7 seconds. These are sort of like rule of thumb type lengths of video. And I wouldn't recommend too many videos that you do go past 90 seconds, absolutely. But there are some videos I think some people will watch longer. It depends on the content. And I'm sure some of you have experienced that, but that's very few and far between. So I think a rule of thumb in general, yes, I completely agree. 90 seconds. We haven't put a time frame on the entries, but if someone was to ask me offline, I'd say no more than 45 seconds, no more than 60 seconds, sometimes no more than 30 seconds, right?
That's what I want to know. That's great. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I want
So if
to
you
know.
can cut it down, do it. Great. But if you feel like there's enough really interesting moments and great content within what you're capturing, then don't be restricted by that rule, right? Don't just make that a hard line. I know Wade's messaging. He won best consultation last year, and his edit was 3 minutes, but it was such a great consultation. It's so entertaining. I know I watched the whole thing as well. I know many others did. So again, but I think that's also very, very rare for people to stay around and watch a video for that long. But
I don't think you can even upload a 3-minute video anymore. Unless I wonder how he did it.
You can, and it's a post, and I think it really depends. Yeah, but I also think it depends on your audience, and I think you need to test and you need to learn because, like, as an educator, long form content is the way that I sell product, right? So it just depends on your audience, and I think do a 2-minute, do a 3-minute. I mean, he won with the 3-minute. And then see what works for you. See what your skip rate is. And then also you're shooting the whole time. Use it. But then also do a shorter form piece of content as another piece of content. Like, fill up your cup, take that same client, do your carousel. I mean, this is what Caitlin does. Like, she's queen of like maximizing that content. She'll do the reel, she'll do the carousel, she'll do a static, she'll do the story, and it's the same person. Same with Belinda Mills. She's really good at squeezing every opportunity that she can from the one person.
Yeah.
But what I have learned is test and learn.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's a right.
I'm gonna fire some questions, guys, and I just need as quick as an answer as possible. Right. First one is I get confused when it comes to what I should post on TikTok and Instagram. Should I treat them both the same and post the same on both platforms? Ash.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading a caption, a
Okay.
comment. I
Caitlin.
focused on two
And then
things
I'll
at
go back
once.
to you.
Ask a question. Sorry.
Caitlin?
Yeah, I'll answer this one. TikTok and Instagram are completely different. Completely different. You can't post the same things on either. There's certain things you can, but Instagram is like a bit more curated. TikTok is a little bit more personal, fun, raw and real. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
We're getting a little bit more crazy over there, but it's still a little bit more curated.
Okay. Next question from Enya. What apps do you guys recommend for content creating, ones that aren't as mainstream? I mean, I know we spoke about edits tonight with Instagram, I think, or it's connected to Instagram somehow, but any other apps that you guys keeping to yourselves that you aren't sharing that we need to know about?
Not from like I love Tezza just for like a little bit of a filter over like more like a lifestyle image, not so much hair shot, but that's more for like your story strategy or like a photo dump of like, you know, lifestyle stuff. I don't think you need it necessarily for an awards entry. The teleprompter inside edits. I love my edits, but you know, the teleprompter feature inside edits is a really, really great feature to get yourself comfortable talking to scripts. Other ones.
That's a big one, by the way. I use one called Big VU. That's an app, Big VU. But if Edits has a teleprompter, even better. What they do, you create your script, whether you create it yourself or you get ChatGPT or AI to create your script, and then it just scrolls the script on the screen as you're looking at your phone. It looks like you're looking at the audience through the camera, but you're reading a script, and it could be an announcement or it could be an education that you've created, education or tips or step by steps or whatever it is.
And you can do scripts for voiceovers too, which I think is a game changer because like as a mum, I've never been able to nail a voiceover because the pressure of trying to do that while there's kids and there might be a baby sleeping on me, it just wasn't something I could nail. But now that I can make a voiceover script and I can follow that script when I'm doing the voiceover, it just makes it feel so much easier. And makes just, you know, that content type that I thought I could never do, I can do now. So, teleprompter for your voiceovers. That's pretty cool.
Nat, any apps you want to share?
I love captions actually for teleprompting.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've tried both and I still prefer captions. I feel like it's built for teleprompting. But I feel like if you want a one-stop shop, sure, edits. But I love captions because, you just got lots of, like, you can use AI to just cut out all your filler words, which is really cool. If you want to get a little bit more creative with your captions, and it has pre-built viral AI templates in there that you guys can look at. But I did definitely one of my faves.
Okay.
And then I love a good face tune. Look up a little face app. I love all the editing apps, but I'm even been playing with ChatGPT imaging.
Really?
Absolutely.
For hair, like hair posts, or what type of?
No, but like not. I mean, you have to be very specific with your prompt. But just to remove things that I don't want in a background or completely flip out a background. Like, if you're shooting on a background that's white, but you really want to play with a brand tone that you have, that's easy.
More like that graphic design editing almost.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And then obviously Canva, but you have to be very specific. Don't touch the face, don't touch the hair, And then if you don't want to be flagged on Instagram using AI, take a screenshot of it and then upload it.
Oh, good tip. Do you guys have any tips for how an apprentice can create content, especially if they don't have clients? I'm sure both Caitlin and Nat have a response to that.
You just need to show up as yourself, do a little day in the life, show me what you clean, show me
your own hair,
shampooing, show me you cleaning a window, making a coffee, all the things. Yeah, I feel like you don't need to just post hair content, and the more you start posting, the easier it gets. So if you start doing that stuff to begin with, once the hair comes in, it'll be really easy.
Yeah, great tip.
I remember the name of him, but he's this he was basically an assistant in the US, and he took his audience on this incredible journey of him going to trade school and him fucking up his first mannequin and him, being in the salon floor and hating being there and, like all of these things right before he like managed to qualify. And you went on a journey with him. By the time that kid's qualified, he's going to be fully booked because he's already built an audience, right? And I think if you can learn one skill that I could tell everybody is to be a phenomenal storyteller. So if you can, learn that skill when you're an apprentice, it will save you a lot of money later.
Yeah,
Someone
you can
wrote,
always do your own hair too. Like, there's no reason why you can't style. You could enter the product category styling your own hair. Or even, family members. Like, I think, wasn't it Summer? There was a young apprentice that used to always style her little sister's hair, and it was adorable.
so
on her
cool.
content.
Well, we've got a category, which is a new category this year called Best Self-Styling Video. Best Self-Styling
Yes.
Video. So that's a video that's open to anyone who can do their own hair, right? So
Love
if
that.
you want to do your own hair and you're an apprentice and you want to create some fun content around that moment and incorporate a product, you can enter into best self-styling and best product tutorial, right? There's so many ways you can double up and double up your chances to final and win by creating a piece of content that allows you to use it for multiple categories. One other one other question, guys, which is pretty interesting, is how is AI going to be monitored? For example, if I want to remove a blemish using an app that may use AI, will that ruin my entry? Am I better off just now editing blemishes, just not editing blemishes rather? I know in the past we can do basic editing like lighting, etc., but I'm super interested to know if blemish control, etc., will show up as use of AI. I'll answer that first, and then you guys can chime in. I don't think that's AI because it's more Photoshop. It's more cleaning an image or enhancing an image. AI for me is if you actually have created from nothing the hair, right? You don't want to create the hair through AI. I think what we're trying to do is limit fake hairdressing. Okay, we want to celebrate the craft. So if you've used AI to clean the background, if you used AI to remove somebody's mole, or if you've used AI to maybe enhance makeup, I don't know. I don't really think we should touch the face or hair personally, but specifically not the hair. Then I wouldn't call that AI. I just call that obviously traditional editing and retouching of a photo. But I think with social media and what we're doing with the Digital Hair Awards, technically, it's very hard to use AI because most of the entries require video content, not photographs. But guys, I'll throw to you if you have a response to that as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think pretty much aligned to that. I think, in terms of editing, I think absolutely focus more on the background and removing distractions. So I do have a tutorial all around editing that's all around like lowering the exposure of the background only so that your color pops against it, creates contrast. You can spot edit just on your iPhone. There's a cleanup tool just on your edits of your iPhone that you can use to just spot edit busy backgrounds, messy things in the background. So, I think it's, you can go too far, definitely. All these things are available. So it's as long as you come back to that purpose and goal and make sure you have that sense check of is what I'm doing okay? Like, we all have due diligence when it comes to AI to do the right thing in all parts of our life. Like, it is, but it also comes back to, we know that people don't want that. We are very aware of an overly photoshopped image. Like, we've seen it and it doesn't get engagement anymore. So is that necessarily going to make you stand out for a good reason? Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got two cameo guests for tonight. Macy May and Leah Emel, who are two amazing content creators, both of whom have been incredible promoters and champions for the Digital Hair Awards and featured on the DHA creator stage at Mainland this year. So I want them to come on and say hi and just quickly touch on their response to why they entered the Digital Hair Awards. And before we do that, of course, the last question we didn't respond to, and you girls can actually, hey ladies, have help with this answer. Is someone wrote, I get engagement, but I find it hard to get followers. Does that matter when it comes to getting my personal brand out there?
Not at all.
honestly. When I entered the competition last year, I actually gained followers and exposure from this competition. And so for me, I don't think it is. I think it's about what you're producing, really.
Oh, you're waiting for my answer. Sorry. No, I don't think followers matter. I don't. I think I see so many people who with such small following that I resonate with a lot more than people with a big following. I think, especially in today's day and age, like Caitlin said, we want that human connection. And I think some people with very big following, they don't have that anymore because they do get busier or they do have a larger platform, so they can't interact with their audience a lot more. So I think, yeah.
I'm going to say the larger the following, the bigger the disadvantage.
Interesting. Unpack
Well,
that for me.
my hair care page has 80,000 followers, and it would 4x the reach of my main Natalie Anne page.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every time or for specific types of content?
If we're looking on a 30-day period.
Oh, wow.
Like the total account.
And why do you think that is, Nat?
A multitude of things. But I think Instagram prioritizes smaller accounts.
Wow.
And we have the older, the more followers you have, the more Instagram cleans up, the more bots there are. It's just and my account is old. Like it is so old. So you got people that are disabling their accounts all the time. So I lose like maybe 3,000 followers a week.
Wow.
But then I'll gain 3,000 or 3,500 followers a week. So we're kind of always toying that line. But I'm gonna just say engagement far outweighs followers. And even from a brand perspective, if I was to look at using a creator or a UGC creator, for me, the engagement is far more important and the content itself is far more important than the follower count, because now we understand that followers don't matter.
Yep.
If your content's hot, it's going to pop.
Can I just add though that there could be reasons why people aren't converting to follow you. You might create a viral video, but there's a conversion piece that they see your video, they go back to your profile, and there might be a reason why they're not hitting follow. Maybe your niche isn't clear enough, how you help people, the value add isn't clear enough in how you've set up your account and the consistency in what you post. So it depends. Yeah, it depends if your engagement, at some point, is there a gap there that we can work on from a strategy perspective for your account, so that, those eyeballs become more than just eyeballs. They actually become like measurable business, money in your pocket.
Leah and Macy, you guys were around the entire session, and I'd love to give you guys the concluding word. Was there anything that we discussed tonight or that you heard tonight that you'd love to add to or potentially challenge or just sort of like comment on?
Macy, I have something, might be controversial, but I think, like, I don't know, I don't remember who said it, but someone was talking about their niche and what they post. And I think to touch on that, like for me, I love glam. So I would never have anyone in my chair without full glam. And when I mean full glam, I mean like a professional glam. But that's what I like. And that's what converts on my page. If I do like a back shot of a girl and she doesn't have glam on, it won't do the same as it would for Caitlin, for example, because that's her audience. Me and my audience they want full glam. They want to see the girl from front on, no side, no back. And that's just what works for me. And I love that.
But you know your audience.
Yeah, yes. And I studied my audience, and I think it's great to learn who you're creating content for. Of course, yourself, but also who's your target market. Like mine is glam, mine is brides, mine is people who are going to these big events, and that's what I like. So I think it's really important to find your audience.
I love that answer.
And that comes from looking at yourself, not at others as well, which I think is a really good point. Like there's only so much inspiration you need from other people. You need to come back to your why and what you do in your craft.
Yeah, very good. Leah?
Well, I feel like I'm the same as Macy, but obviously like not glam. I do salon.
You're like the opposite.
I'm like completely opposite to glam. I'm shooting everyday content, so I don't have an assistant like Caitlin. It's just me, myself, and I. So I think for me, it's just shooting everyday people, and for me, that's what people resonate with, because I think, for example, my clients get really excited when they see themselves on my Instagram, and they're like, "That's me, that's my hair." Like it's almost like they're so excited to be on social media. So that's my take. So
Yeah.
I'm opposite to Macy.
How do you guys recommend studying your audience? What does that even mean? Explain that.
Read your insights.
Mm.
And ask your audience, get on your Instagram stories and talk to them. Don't just say, ask me a question about me. It's all about them. End of the day, you showing up is all about your audience and connecting with them and figuring them out. Yes, you show up, but that's just a visual stimulus to get their attention. It's not
Very
about
good.
what you look like. It's not about your world and just you. It's actually what's in it for them. And you've got to ask them questions and invite them along. Let them come into your world and help you make decisions. That's how you can actually build genuine interaction with them and really understand who your diehards are, who's really watching, who really is invested, and who, what's their similarities. Like for me, it's mums. Absolutely. I attract a lot of women who are mums because we have, I guess, because of the way I show up online and talk about having kids and running a business, that is a really core thing that I've realized that I resonate with and connect with and attract. So yeah, something you can always do is gather that information in, yes, your insights, but in having a two-way conversation in your Instagram stories.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well, guys, I think tonight has been fantastic, and I just want to say thank you to Ashley, Caitlin, Nat, Macy, and Leah, for giving us your precious time tonight. We've got somebody joining right now for some reason. They probably got the time wrong, but
Probably from overseas. You had a few.
yeah, I know. So hopefully, if you're just joining or you've caught the second half of this live masterclass, or you've just joined, we will be sending out the recording of tonight's masterclass, which is rich with information. So just DM the Digital Hair Awards for that copy of tonight's session. But again just want to reiterate, thank you so much for your time, guys. I think it was very, very insightful. And don't forget, the Digital Hair Awards is offering buy one, get one free till midnight tonight for everybody who joined. And Natalie Anne is offering an incredible offer. If you use Natalie Anne Hair Care and enter best product tutorial and you final, you get $1,000 worth of product. And if you win, you get a 1 hour mentor session with Natalie Anne. And Ashley is also offering, if you DM her on Social Coach Ash, she's offering 30% off her social media academy. And Caitlin just basically wants you to DM her because she's got stuff that she's doing all the time with education. And she's
love chatting, guys.
she's just happy to have a chat and then unpack with you. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. Peter Beckett, great that you joined us. You're an absolute legend hairdresser. I can see you. Everybody else, thank you so much. We've had a great turnout tonight. I can't wait to see everybody's work for the Digital Hair Awards. This is your opportunity to truly, truly shine. Guys, thank you so much for your time. A big goodbye to everybody. And from me and the DHA team, have a great night, guys.
Happy entering.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. How do you get on?
See everyone.
Bye.
I'm just going to stay on till everyone says bye. What was the instruction you were giving me? My wife was giving me instructions. Do I just hang up? Yes. Okay. See everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.